Hi everyone, and welcome to the Scratchicus Academy. It is the Eberron finale, and I can't quite believe how quickly it's come along. You are going to have to excuse me, I will be coughing a little bit as I've not been too well, but I'm on the mend. Right, without further ado, let's get through the bits and hop into the story because it's the finale. That's what it's about. So please check out our Discord. It's full of wonderful people. We talk about D&D, we talk about TTRPGs, and we have a section for each one of our campaigns. So if you then want to head back and catch up, then you can. We also have everything on YouTube. If you want to catch up on YouTube, all of our stories that have already been told, you can head over there and catch up so you can be up to date on this one. Twitter, if you'd like to get into one of our games, we are going to be running 5 viewer games next season, including the Cyre system. So there's lots and lots of spaces. We're all booked up at Christmas, I'm pretty sure. But drop Scrat a message on Twitter and we will get you into one of the games. We are full-time and it's all thanks to you wonderful people. So ways you can support us are with Patreon or our merch, which you can find on Redbubble. Patreon, we've got some free articles going up. I think our lovely Derek, who's in chat, has just had one go up, and Renee next week, I want to say, is another one. Our merch you can find on Redbubble, and the lovely Christmas logo that you have seen, you can now get your very own Scratchicus Academy Christmas jumper and use the code Robot25, which gives you a 25% discount. I think that's only today. I don't think it goes across much more, but yeah. Our sponsors are the wonderful Bird in the Storm. They produce some really awesome stuff. We've got some stuff that we're working on with them in the new year, which I'm very excited about. And there's the link in chat for their t-shirts and their mugs and everything like that, because I love my Bird in the Storm mug. My coffee goes in there. And also Mage Hand Press. You will see that used on Thursday in the finale of Argo 37. Just quickly as a last thing, Wild Magic Surges. Every 10 retweets, we will have a Wild Magic Surge. And also you can donate to have a Wild Magic Surge to a particular person if you would like. Other than that, I think it's time to hop around. So, Derek, how are you today?
Great, thanks. I am really looking forward to the finale. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I don't think Kaya does either, so that's a thing.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you. And Lauren, how are you?
Dying of the plague. Hello, I am Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. She, her pronouns. And I am playing Tart, the changeling bard, who is also part of House Viarlan, and her mom's here, and that's not weird. I always wanted to go on an adventure with my abusive mother. Didn't you?
Well, you spoke back to her last time.
I did. It was awesome.
Told your mother off last time.
I did.
So
character development.
Yeah, character development. That can go anywhere. And Tool School, how are you today? Ready for this finale?
I'm doing good. We're going to see how this all goes. I am pretty excited for it, and can't wait to see how it all turns out. I am playing Vesh, who is our Kalishtar, who has a storm giant as his Kiore, who basically has things have not gone quite like it always does for Kalishtar, as he has become quite tall and gangly and very clumsy. And he's just kind of trying to figure out where he's going to go and what he's going to do, because, oh golly, he might have gotten in with the wrong crowd now.
Oh, sweet, sweet fish. And last but certainly not least, Ash.
Hello. I'm Ash, and I'm doing quite well today. And I play Emet, who last episode had a nice little jaunty walk around town, picked up some food, and is now heading back, which nothing could have gone wrong in the short period of time in which she was gone. absolutely nothing. All is good right now.
In fact, we'll start off with Yvette. You're walking back down the street with Tarlin. You've got your hands full. What food have you bought? What did you get? What did you pick up?
We got some more of those flatbreads. Made sure to grab some more sarsaparilla for Vesh.
Talina also had Talina. I'm reading chat. I'm sorry. Tarlin is. Let me just hide that for myself. Tarlin is walking with you. He's got his arms full. You can see the door to where you're staying, and he's just like, I reckon they'll really appreciate this after, they seemed to really like it last time.
They did. And in one hand, Emmet has just a bunch of ice lollies that are just melting.
It's just dripping over.
Yeah, but he hasn't noticed yet.
Yeah. And Tolan's looking at it. He's like, do you want me to take those? Or are you okay with them?
They will like these too. I think. And he just keeps holding and keeps walking.
Sorry, Ash, did you say something? My computer froze. Sorry.
He just said that he's pretty certain that they will like the ice lollies also, and just keeps walking with them, excited to give them to everyone.
Okay. Okay. And you reach the house, and Talon opens the door, and you both step into this living room. There's a fire going in the grate. You can see the big rug on the floor. You can see the chairs. Everything seems fine. All the portraits are along the wall. There's no one in this room at all. None of them are there. Guys, you hear Talon sort of call out, not loudly, but
So where are the rest of us right now? Are we
the
all?
rest of you
Are we all down in the basement at this point? If they
They're all
have,
down in the basement currently. So would you have, when you saw all these eyes flick on last session, would you have screamed? Would you have made a noise? Would you have yelled? Would you have...
What color were their eyes again?
White.
Tart. What does white mean again? Is that the good color or the bad color?
I don't know.
There's a lot of them down here.
Yeah, I can see
and that
them.
one's really, really big.
Uh-huh. So maybe we should back up.
And they are literally all just turning to look at you, blinking slightly. And Rush is just slightly behind Vesh and slightly in front of Tart.
Yeah, Vesh was, before it became, when he thought it was just a rat and before it became a whole room full of Warforged, he was thinking he was being the cool adventurer. So he actually has his sort of shield out, and then it's kind of like he starts backing up slowly.
And you can see this isn't the only giant Warforged in this room. You followed a huge one, and you can see a couple that are sort of slightly hunched over, sat down at the back.
If I recall, the only reason I kept going forward once I realized how big it was because Blue is in front of me somewhere. That Blue kept walking into the room towards all these Warforged. I think Alice is frozen.
She's back.
Yep. So Blue, I believe, was in front of me, and that was the reason we even went deeper. And I went deeper into the room, and then sent Rush to go get the others. Yeah. So where's Blue?
Blue is standing, not next to, but just slightly in front of this big one, just looking up.
Blue. Blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
As he sort of turns and looks back. There.
It's time to go now.
We can't stay and talk.
Well, hang on. We've just happened upon, Kaya says, she kind of pushes her way up to front. And it was completely dark down here, right?
Yeah.
Well, to
Well,
everybody.
apart from the effectively it was like a lantern that Vesh had, and
Yeah.
I think Tart had her dancing lights up.
Well, to everybody else, yeah, it's dark. But for me, I see completely normally in both darkness and magical darkness. So I press my way to the front, and I say, "Okay, hang on a second. They're just a bunch of people standing about." Turn. Sorry, what are you lot doing down here?
And all the heads sort of in sync turn to look at Kaya. And in unison say, "We are kept here."
Oh, good, great. We're going cryptic again. All right, why are you being kept here?
"We have never left here."
Okay, didn't ask when you've been out last. Why are you being kept here?
"We don't know. We are told we are waiting.
For?
We are waiting for our journey."
Aha, journey. Lovely. Okay, what journey? She turns back to Vesh and Tart and says, I would love how they always answer in short answer. It's not really helpful, is it? Got to really extract information. Okay, yes, so journey, you were saying?
"We are built for a purpose. We are waiting for our journey. We are waiting for our master to return."
Are you good Warforged or bad Warforged?
Vesh, don't ask that question. Everyone who's ever bad always says they're the good guy. It's a dumb question.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Yeah.
Because it's Wizard of Oz.
We are Warforged. We do as we are told.
Oh, I have a question. Hi. Hello. I have a question. So who is your master?
And Tart, can you roll a perception for me?
I love rolling. Here I go. 25.
Before they even open their mouths to say it, you can see these Warforged look slightly different. On their chest is the huge brand of the bull. The House Cannith symbol is almost like not carved in, it's a raised impression of this.
Do you have a particular member of House Cannith that you answered to? Because I don't know if the one who owns this house is coming back.
We wait for Cole Cannith.
So when I hear Lauren, sorry.
I'm a fantasy character.
Yes. When I hear Tarts talk about House Cannith and sort of point towards this bull, he went away, your master?
Yes, we are waiting for him before our journey with him.
Hold this, and he hands the shield and gets off his pack, and pretty noisily, 1 second, it's right here somewhere. He's like taking rope and rations and literally like unpacking his entire backpack. I've got it right here somewhere. Wait a second.
Vesh, what are you doing?
I think I met Cole Cannith. It keeps unpacking and unpacking and unpacking.
Like where? Like where would you meet Cole Cannith?
He was on the road, and he's just like it's a perfectly normal thing. He had a Warforged too. It was the first one I ever saw before I saw Emmett. But he gave me where is it? Clink, clank, clank. Ching, ching. Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, as this is happening, Emet, you and Talon are stood, and you can hear what seems like talking just beneath your feet, but casual, and like you can hear things drop, like metal and stuff like that, which is Vesh unloading his pockets, but you can hear not a fearful chat, but what sounds like, hang on a minute, like you can hear their voices. You can hear muffled, you don't really know what they're saying, but you can hear them.
I turn to Tarlin. I think they are downstairs.
There's a downstairs, and he starts looking around, and he looks towards the kitchen. He's like, there's a trap door that wasn't there before.
There is a downstairs. Inumet will walk towards the trapdoor and start going down.
He's like, put the lollies down. As he's trying to get these lollies off you, I'm assuming you continue to walk with lollies and food in hand.
They will like the food.
Yeah, but why are they down there?
We can go ask them. They sound fine.
Okay, yeah, okay. And he just sort of... Good point.
We were in the attic earlier.
After you.
Inumet heads downstairs.
You head downstairs. You feel like you don't have to duck, but you can feel that you're that much closer to the ceiling. And you can see this light through what looks like through two doors. And you can see Vesh unloading his pockets. You can see Tart stood there.
Shaking her head.
Yeah, yeah. You can see Rush sort of hiding slightly behind Kaya as Kaya is over there. And Blue is stood next to a giant Warforged. A giant Warforged that is almost bent in half, trying to now fit under this ceiling.
And I'm assuming, it's safe to assume that I would not recognize any of these, because all of these Warforged have been down here the entire time.
Yes,
okay.
And they're all branded with the House Cannith seal.
Okay, so at the sight of all the Warforged, Imet completely forgets he's holding food. And just his arms kind of drop, so anything that was not clutched in his hand, so probably just the ice lollies survive this, as his arms just kind of drop. And that's about all the surprise that's shown. And he walks forward. Where did you find all of them?
Kaya holds out her arms and goes, ta-da! Sorry, sarcasm aside. Good to see you, Imet. Fortunately, you're a Warforged, meaning you probably speak cryptic Warforged. So if you wouldn't mind talking to them, that'd probably be more helpful than the help they're giving us right now.
What are you trying to find out?
They're going on about something about a call Cannith and a journey. They're being all cryptic again. Sort of like they were in Shan, but this time less, scary.
Emet looks at the tall one. I assume that's the one that's kind of standing front and center.
There are mortal ones, but there is one in particular that's very tall, stood looking down at Blue and at Vesh, that more at very confused as Vesh is just unloading his pockets onto the floor. And with that, we also have 10 retweets, so we're going to do a wild magic search. Vesh 1, Tart 2, Kaya 3, Emet 4. So if I could spell it right. That's a 1, please. Vesh, of course
That'd be me. Of course it's me.
Of course it's Vesh.
What's the number now?
It's still 614 at the moment. And Emet, this huge Warforged turns to look at you. Greetings, fellow Warforged.
Hello. Did you name yourself?
We do not have names yet. And it looks almost like it's thinking, like it tilts its head, but...
Why are you here?
We are waiting for our master, Cole Cannith. We are going on a journey, on our mission, our purpose of creation.
How long have you been waiting?
I do not understand time down here, but it has been a long time. I was the first, and more came and were created.
Do you know the details of your mission?
We go to Zendrick.
Wait,
Do you know
what?
why?
Vesh stops looking and sort of looks over his shoulders like, what?
And it looks down at you. And as it looks at you, its eyes flick to red and then look back up and flick to white again.
Never mind.
Does that place hold meaning for you, Vesh?
That's where I was going. Out of Sharn. To Zendrik. It's the land of the giants. It's where Ugola said we should go.
As you say giants, lots of the eyes start to flick between red and white.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about giants anymore.
We are, or I am, a prototype. The first. The others are better models. I am built to take on a giant.
You are going to fight giants?
That is a possibility.
Emet will look over all of them to see what specifically makes them good for fighting giants.
It's mainly the one you're looking at, who he's called himself the prototype. He's just a bigger version of you. And his feet are particularly bigger, and so are his hands. But other than that, there's not a major difference.
Vesh,
Yeah.
did you talk to Cole Cannith on the road?
Well, sort of. I said hello because he was just coming along and he had a Warforged and I said hi, and his Warforged said he said I might be down on my luck, so he gave me, well, that's what I'm looking for, but I can't. So he gave me a dagger and I've been keeping it. But then when he left, and he was nice and I was nice because I was taught to be polite.
Yes, you're a nice boy. Go on.
Oh yeah. And well, his Warforged said, like, thank you for not judging my master.
Did he say where he was going?
He was leaving Sharn, heading east.
Question also stands, why would you have judged his master for what?
I don't know. He seemed like a nice guy. He gave me a fancy dagger.
Alice, do I know anything specifically about Cole Cannith, if he's like a contemporary Cannith?
Could you roll a history for me, please?
And what would I know?
You know that House Cannith created the Warforged. Most of you will know that obviously a lot of people don't like Warforged because they're effectively war machines. And then when when the war started to calm down, obviously there's a lot of Warforged, and the House Cannith lost a lot of money and deteriorated and became a lesser house. And thank you for the donations for the 2 World Magic Surges, 1 to Vesh and 1 to Kaya. But this Warforged takes a step forward and looks at all of you. None of you are Cannith.
Cannith is gone.
Not in this house.
Not in this city.
In this building.
I think probably Vesh finally gets to the very bottom of his pack. Because it's Vesh, there is probably something that has melted and sticky down there as well. And finally does get out where he's wrapped this dagger into some like wax cloth, type idea, and pulls out and goes, "Oh, here, oh yeah," unwraps it, and finally, "Here, I have Cole's dagger. He gave it to me." Looking at the big Warforged.
And this Warforged eyes go green for a second. You carry the house's seal.
Yeah. Well, he gave it to me. I met him on the road. He had another Warforged with him. It was kind of like Emmet. But he was nice.
Why can I sense? And it's like he starts to break up a little bit. It's like he starts to tweak. You don't make sense. I scan. I see a giant.
I'm a Kalishtar.
I don't know what that is. If you are a giant, you are the enemy.
I'm not really a giant.
He's not a giant. Look how small and so tiny he is. Not
As he
a giant.
towers over everyone
Yep.
else in the
Yep.
room.
Yep.
Giants
Yep.
aren't enemies anymore.
Yes, they are.
You have been forgotten.
I'm going
No,
to
we
interpose.
haven't.
Orders have changed.
I'm going to interpose myself. I step in and my hand cracks with white and black lightning as I point it at them. I say, "Look, he's a sweet boy, and he's definitely not a giant. He just has sort of a growth spurt problem. But if you have a problem with him, then you have a problem with me. You have a problem with her, and then you have a problem with the tall fellow that looks a lot like you. But I promise you, Emmet's a lot stronger than you are. So, choose carefully."
And it looks at you for a second. And it's like it's just looking you up and down. And it looks back to the group. And pulls... Vesh, you are muted.
And he picks back up the shield. He goes, "I have the shield too."
And he sort of looks at it and looks at you and looks at Kaya.
Is that good or is that bad?
And it pushes past all of you towards Emmet. We are not forgotten. We are new. I may be old. I have been here a while. But, and when he reached back to gesture to the group, you can see some Warforged, the same size as you, Emmet, step forward.
Are these the newest?
Yeah, these are they look like this one. They don't look like you. This is obviously a particular type you haven't seen before. And he sort of holds out his hands as they were made 1 month ago.
Emet's eyes flash orange at that.
I thought they couldn't tell time down here.
Did you see Cool then?
And go on, Jay.
I look at him. I saw Cole right before, like the morning before I met you, maybe the day before. He was leaving Sharn.
He is still making Warforged.
Yeah, I guess.
Vesh, Aren't the giants gone?
He kind of looks a little bit downtrodden. He goes, and knowing where he is also, well, that's what people said. But I was going to go anyway to double check.
It's possible the people are wrong if they're still making Warforged specifically to fight giants.
In a weird way, Vesh picks up at that, going, I knew kind of under his breath, I knew I was right. Knew they weren't gone.
Oh, darling, of course you pick up on the wrong thing. So, question is, do you and your new friends want to continue waiting, or do you want to be a pile of scrap metal that is incapable of doing anything but lie around?
Cole will come for us. We will
Not
then cross the ocean and we will complete our mission.
Where does Cole come from? When he enters this room, what direction does he come from?
Where you came from.
From
Alright.
that door. And he points to the trap door up to the kitchen.
Correct.
I've heard about enough. We can't get Vesh to his people if there's not any giants left. And Kaya extends her hand, and she's going to Eldritch Blast the one that is talking.
Roll for
You
me,
met-
please.
Might move in front of you.
Alright then. Let's do this. It is plus. Okay.
Bear in mind there are 40 to 50 in here, is what I'm just saying, for those who remember.
Okay. I forgot that it was that many.
Just a reminder. Are you continuing to do this?
Well, it is a finale, isn't it?
I'm busy. I don't see this because I'm busy looking at Vesh, watching his reactions, because I think Vesh has been keeping stuff from us.
And Vesh, thank you for that wild magic surge. Vesh,
Oh, no.
you believe your allies are plotting against you.
Kaya will move her hand slightly to the side.
You feel slightly unnerved by everything that has happened in the run up to this point.
Okay.
And you are on edge. And Hildy is attacking my toes. Get off.
At the last second, Kaya will divert, as she sees that Emmett's about to move, will divert the blast up into the ceiling.
As you do this, this huge Warforged turns to, why are you hostile? And they all flick red.
That's not an unjust question.
What have you got against the giants?
I am programmed, designed to do this. You attack me for no reason, and it reaches a hand out and grabs you, like clamps itself around your shoulders and holds you up. Is it? I don't understand.
Your programming doesn't mean shit. Look at Emmett. Emmett's not under anyone's programming. Emmett does what Emmett wants. You should take a lesson and not wait for some smug prick to pick you up.
Kaya, it takes time to realize this. They're new. They don't know yet. Will you please drop her?
So this giant effectively sets you down. So you would try to destroy me for not having a mind of my own.
I destroy myself for not having a mind of my own. Trust me, I know what it's like.
But
Though in a way, she is not wrong either. If you mindlessly just go to war, you will regret it later.
these Warforged, myself, and he's sort of gesturing to the larger ones, we are there as a defense to continue our mission.
Going
We
to war is
fight
not
for our house and for our master.
going to war is not defense. Going there is starting a war. A war that has not been happening for some time now. That boy there is looking for those people.
Mr. Warforged,
Yes.
do you know what you were going to do once you reached Zendrick?
We are to meet in our place. We are to find the door.
The door to where?
The door.
What door are you trying to find?
A
Scary
door.
Matt Bash.
A door for the giants.
Are they locked away somewhere? Is it a prison? Is it a kingdom? What is it?
They guard it. We,
And what?
or my master, needs what's inside.
And what's inside?
I don't know. I must just find the door.
Vesh has been sort of slowly packing his stuff back up into his backpack while this is going on. I don't need that anymore. Do you want a tart? Do you want a candy? And it's like pocket lit candy.
No.
Okay. He puts it back in the bag. Start packing up all this stuff. He still has a dagger with him though. Thanks. Oh, sorry.
Do you know anything about the door in Zendrick? I mean, I assume it has many doors, but this seems like a specific door, Vesh, if you wanted to go there.
I'm just trying to find my family there. But I've had dreams and things.
Oh, like when you space out
Yeah.
and you just stand there and we were all talking to you and then you're just like
Oh,
that.
remember like with the dragon?
Yeah. No, I know. What
There was a big temple there.
Uh-huh.
And I dreamed about it. And the giants were there. And it seemed really nice.
Is that it?
Maybe we could have this conversation elsewhere, where we're not surrounded by Warforged that are predisposed to destroy the things that we're looking for. And especially if they're looking for something that Vesh doesn't or does want to tell us about, we don't say it in front of them, who might just go tell their master who's looking for this door. Does that sound reasonable then, everybody?
So Cole is heading east. When I passed him, just right before the Warforged came from that direction. The ones who took over Sharn. I think he might, maybe, could have been part of that. Vesh starts to sort of get a little bit remembering Sharn and seeing the Warforged there and seeing how they sort of handled people and were not. I think Vesh is starting to get a little bit creeped out and kind of just like moving towards the door with his stuff. It's just like they might have. So. Yeah.
Blue is looking at Vesh and looking at all of you, and then looks up at the giant Warforged to Emet. They are not like us.
No. Either they can't awaken, or they just haven't yet. I don't know yet, Blue.
And right in front of the others, he goes, I don't like them. I would like to leave.
Yes.
Agreed.
Let's leave them here.
And at this point, Tart, your mother is looking very confused. Like, she's just there. She's
Sure.
like,
Oh, that's right. You brought your mom
I
down.
did.
the mum is down there, and she's just like, bastard. Like, she's getting really, like, tetchy and leery in the corner. She's like, I knew it. It's not.
Mommy dearest, is there something about House Cannith you can tell us?
Mummy dearest.
Oh, don't start with me.
Tart, who is
Bug
this?
problem.
I don't know half the time.
I'm going upstairs. And
Okay.
she starts walking
I'm
upstairs.
going to follow her. I know what she's talking about. Vash.
I'm thinking Vesh might be already sort of like in front of you guys, sort of having headed out.
Good, then we're scampering up after him.
Yeah, Vesh, you'll see Tarlan in the main room like, hi. He's just got an arm full of flatbreads. And you will all walk past as you leave this basement. You'll walk past what is like a pile of food and ice lollies dumped on the floor.
Before leaving, Kaya turns to the Warforged and says, oh, do be careful. Try not to do anything too cryptic while you're down here. And then she leaves.
And they just close the door behind as you leave. And Tart, your mum, is just like, I knew it was him. Cole, sneaky bastard. I cannot stand that man. I hated him at parties. It's never a...
That's a good reason to suspect someone of starting a war mummy. When was the last time you saw him? He hasn't been to Sharn recently, has he?
And she looks at you and just nods. He's like, he is a slimy rat that has no family, no wealth left, and they're trying to climb up the scales again. I mean, he was originally supposed to marry Ophelia. Like, I'm assuming you've told all of them this already because this is your new family now. And she sort of, and I denied him because it's not worth it. We're not joining that family with that impoverished house with nothing there. There's only like 4 of them left anyway.
So if you don't mind, milady, why don't you tell a uninformed waif like myself exactly who House Cannith is, and particularly who this Cole Cannith is?
House Cannith are the people who created the Warforged. It's how they made their money.
Lovely. I didn't know that. Vesh, did you know that?
No.
Exactly. So let's not pretend that everyone knows everything. It's a bit haughty. Too haughty for my own tastes.
Who is this? Like, she's like...
I literally don't know, Mom.
That's Kaya. Miss Tart. Not Tart. Miss Ophelia. No, not Miss House Fairlin. Hi, Miss Fairlin.
No.
Madam Fairlin. Lady Fairlin.
This is going super well.
I'm going to have a drink.
Oh,
And
we
I will
know it's
sit
you.
down.
At least we know it's you.
Yes, that's good.
And she looks like she's gonna go and like bite that, but she's like, and just sort of walks over.
The good stuff's over in the corner.
Thank you. And she sort of reaches it and just pours herself. She looks at the bottle as if she's gonna drink out of the bottle, and then you think maybe she remembers who she is and starts pouring it into a glass.
I love her so much.
And sits down in the chair, and it's like she's just like rubbing her temple, like.
Emet looks down at his hands and looks up at everyone, and his eyes are purple, and he's like, I dropped your ice lollies. They're good for your soul. And I dropped them.
Emmett, don't take it
I
harsh.
am sorry.
Echo doesn't have a soul.
It's okay, Emet. It's not a big deal. It was very sweet.
You brought ice lollies?
Yeah, and is like Vesh probably at the same time. It's like, I have never had an ice lolly. What is it?
If they're not completely melted, Vesh is going to go pick one up off the floor, whatever's left of one. The sad little ball of ice left on the popsicle stick.
Melty nub.
Yeah.
I'll start trying to refreeze it with prestidigitation. It's fine. It's just lumpy.
Kai just sort of saying there, she goes, "Oh, we could just toss them at those lot, and they'll, maybe they'll have souls by the time they're done licking it off the floor."
I don't understand.
They just taste good. Unless, well, I don't think the headache you get's actually something for your soul. But anyway, they're tasty. They make you smile. They make me smile.
Then they are good. And it sort of looks over to Emet and nods. He's never had one of these before. And let's have a look. Oh god, okay. Now Tart.
What?
Feeling slightly nervous at the moment because you have heard about these this new information that has come to you about Ophelia, and this is probably something you didn't know. It would have, because it was never announced because your mother put a stop to it. You just feel slightly nervous, and you do a Vesh. You can't help but as you walk over towards her, your foot gets caught in the carpet.
Oh, good.
You feel like you trip and stumble. You don't fall over. You don't whatever. But it's you feel like you're more on edge, like.
Oh, I'm super edgy.
Like super aware but super edgy, sort of. It's like a mix.
Yeah.
And thank you for that wild magic search.
Zendrick is another continent, right?
Yep.
Over the water to the south.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're all right. I think that he went east and that was towards Cyre. He has something to do with all the Warforged, and then they said he wanted to go to Zendrick to open a door because he needs something on the other side. Door. Maybe we should go to Zendrick.
And
Where
you
is Aaron?
hear your mother from the side, like, I'm not going to Zendrick.
You don't
No.
have to go to Zendrick.
It's like, good, because I'm not going.
Oh, we're so whiny.
Between
No, she's not, and maybe you could stop picking fights with her. You're both being equally snippy.
between the trip, the snippiness, and the argument, I'm using a nat 20. Vesh is out the door. He's gone on stealth.
You leg it. You sprint out of the door. It's sort of late afternoon. You can tear down these streets. You can run. And describe to me what's going through Vesh's head at the moment.
Well, he got this really bad feeling and was not trusting, but also that just he's had this sort of general unease that he's maybe fallen in with the wrong people, but then hearing that there are plots this 50 Warforged to go to Zendrick and potentially fight the giants at the door that he saw in his dream, and hearing that voice, I believe it was the one inside of the mother, or perhaps the guy in the chair, no, in the vision, who said, don't worry, I'm sending someone else. Vesh is planning on getting to Zendrick first. So, I believe in our earlier things we had pointed out the skyport.
It's basically an airport, but yeah, skyport.
But the big thing that he's going to do, knowing that, what part of town is this in? Are you near any of the markets or bazaars or any of that type of thing? Oh, good, she's frozen. I thought she was thinking. I had to think really hard. Are we
Sorry,
near?
I keep freezing.
Yeah, no problem. Are we near markets? Are we near the markets, or
you can see up? Well, you see lots of skyships going overhead.
Yep.
And you can see the port up at what looks like it's almost on a hill, and you're climbing up towards it, these huge stairs. And you're currently in a market in the street, and it's busy. It's like mid-afternoon. It's just finished lunchtime. It's packed.
Okay. Vesh is going to take just a second, not much more. Lightning cloak. Wrap it up, put it inside of his shield, because put it in, wrap it, put the lightning cloak inside of his pack. He's going to take his scarf off and lay it on the ground next to them. He's been planning this. Are there any kids who are running around?
Yeah, there's a couple of kids just playing games in the streets. They're not really doing too much, but there's quite a few. Some of them.
Is there any of them that are near a cart or something that had, with an awning, or with big hanging stalls of hanging things like that, or any of kids around, or that?
There are two children sat on the back of a cart. It looks like their parents are either closing the market or just restocking some materials and bits and bobs like that, some of the weave that your cloak is made out of in general. So some of these patterns are moving. So
okay, but they're close there to the they're close there to their parents' stall that has all kinds of stuff in it, maybe loud crashing things.
Yeah.
Vesh runs over, hits one of the kids on the back, casts Enlarge on him, and then pushes him into the stalls with this kid newly enlarged, falls into the stall, getting caught up in the awning, and so underneath a pile of things.
You roll a strength for me, just as a rough idea, please.
Sure thing. Come on. Strength or athletics?
Athletics, actually, please.
It's an 8.
Yeah, you knock him over. He doesn't fall straight over, but it's enough to knock into the table itself and send stuff all over the place.
Okay. He's gonna take a quick swipe at maybe one of the awning, awning things to make that fall down as well. Basically, he wants there to be a large humanoid something underneath of a giant awning in this marketplace.
Yeah.
I'm able to do that. Do I need to do a roll, or?
I'd say that'll come part of it. So this,
okay.
The awning comes down where you've knocked the post of the awning.
Cool. So enlarged person inside the thing. He then catches Reduce on himself, spending 4 sorcery points, so it will last for 15 minutes.
Okay.
So to make himself look like just a gangly kid running through the streets, the scarf he left on the ground, because it wouldn't shrink with him, he wraps the shield around that, and he charges towards the airship.
You run and you run and you run through this city, and you climb these steps. You feel your legs actually starting to wake because your breathing becomes ragged, and you run and you head up the stairs. What are the rest of you doing? At the moment, the mother is sat in the chair. She's just drinking. She's having a drink to calm herself down. And Blue is stood beside Emmett. And the rest of you are in the room.
Depends how long it takes to notice that Vesh is gone.
Roll a perception for me.
I'll use an advantage on this. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Good thing I
Did you get hide from a bard?
I'm doing my best.
So Emmett, you sort of notice, you're like, where's Vesh, effectively? And Tart, you look to the door and you can see it swinging on the hinges. Very soon after that, you heard the bang of the door closing, because this is Vesh at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, even with a nat 20, it's still Vesh.
Even if it was as quiet could be for Vesh,
Right.
Tart is so aware of him. She heard it.
Tarlin, Rush,
Yeah.
stay with Mother. And I'm out the door, buddy.
Putting the two and two together, I run after her.
Rush and Tarlin are just like, they look slightly mortified by the fact that they've got to stay with your mother. They look pretty terrified by it. But yeah, what does Kaya and Emmett do? If you've literally just seen Tart go, nope, and just run out. And Blue's looking to Emmett like...
Emmett runs after.
Then I should go. And he just tries to sort of clunk his way along after everyone down the street. And what about Kaya?
Kaya pulls up a chair alongside Mommy Dearest.
Mm-hmm.
Sits down, she says, "So, what do you know about someone called the Traveler?"
What do you mean, like that fairy tale?
No, not anymore. Apparently it's not a fairy tale anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Traveler wanted me to kill you and everyone else in the room back there.
Good for you.
She leans forward. Her eyebrow raises. Now, let me ask you, why do you think I didn't?
You mistake me thinking that I care.
I've been in your head. I know what a scared little thing you are. And I'm having a really shit day. So, I want to make a deal with you.
And she just sips from her drink.
There's something very wrong going on. I've been in your head. I know what's going on. And I think I have all the ideas of how that's happening. But you need to do me a favor. Once I fix it.
Are you going to say it, or are you going to sit there and let that big fleshy jaw of yours hang down?
You're going to kill me, and you're going to bring someone else back to life.
No, I'm not.
Fine. Then you do me a favor, you kill me when I'm done.
And she said, I think you mistake the fact that you want me to do something, and I'm going to do it. And Tarlin and Rush are stood by either side of you right now, like they're looking at each other like, what? And they back away slightly. You mistake me for the fact that you think I can do this. I don't know who you think I am. I don't know who you think you are.
See, you're someone who deals in secrets and shadows and things like that. That much I've been paying attention for. But I also know you have a lot of pull, and you probably can make someone disappear. When I'm done with what I'm doing, getting revenge for whatever took over your head. I want you to take this person that you see in front of me, in front of you, and make them disappear. Lock them away, something, anything. I'm sure your scheming, plotting, twisting, beguiling mind can probably do something about that.
You understand that I'm not in Shan right now, and I'm not in my house, my estate. I haven't got my guards. I haven't got my contacts, and to be honest, I'm getting a little bit of a headache from it's probably the mix of this whiskey and what happened before.
And Kaya summons her rapier and puts it under her chin and says, I know.
I don't know what you're trying to do here.
It's called leverage.
You need to get better at it.
What to do? I could make Echo's life a lot worse for him, or I could continue playing the hero. That's the question. What's going on is, dear Mama Fjallan, is that when we get you back to Shan, I want you to remember that I let you live. And I disapparate the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
And I need resources if I'm going to fix this.
Fix what?
Did you forget the Dreaming Dog, the spiders, the big, awful, ugly spiders?
And she still remains looking at you like, you're gonna have to be clear on what the hell you want from me, other than locking this pretty little face you're apparently wearing in a cage. I don't do that.
You probably know someone who does.
I don't lock people in cages, I kill them.
That's what I asked for, and you said no.
Because you're asking me.
Don't make demands of me. Not now. Do you want revenge for what happened to you? What something getting on in your head?
At some point, maybe, if you can call it revenge, I call it maybe just sorting out a problem.
Right, yes, okay, good. That's somewhere along the lines of the reaction I was hoping for. I need to figure it out too, because I have a lot of things that I'm also sorting out. I think I'm starting to figure out the language that you speak. So aloof, it doesn't get me anything positive out of it.
Then we are one in the same from the sounds of it.
If I sort out your problem for you, kill me.
Why do I need you to sort out my problems? You think I got this far with other people sorting out my problems?
Isn't that what you do?
Do you think other people sort out Tart's problems?
Doesn't Tart sort out your
She does
problems
them on
for
her
you?
own. She's a strong girl. She is a strong, capable girl because she was made that way.
Yeah, you made her into Ophelia Fjallan, that's clear.
Yes, because that's her job.
Right, exactly. People made it that way. You have people make things for you. I am a key piece in all of this. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I have direct connection to who I believe is responsible for pulling all the strings. I need the resources to pull that string so it unravels. And you pull strings, don't you? It's like you're listening, but you're not.
I pull strings. I pull the strings I want to pull. I don't think you understand. You've not given me the most respect. I really don't care. At all. Finito. Done. You have been rude to me the entire way through. So,
As have you.
Yes, that's because that's what I do. This is my house. I protect my house. If I was a soft, squishy woman that did nothing, that wasn't powerful, do you think I'd be alive? Do you think Tart would be alive? Tart is now at the point where she can look after herself. She doesn't need me anymore. I am like this to keep her alive, to keep my house alive. You are not a Fialin, and therefore you get nothing. Please understand this. I could not make it any clearer.
There's some old expression about pride in a fall that I am going to enjoy right before I throw myself in the highest tower in Sharn.
I will make sure my binoculars are ready when you do.
Good. I'll be flipping you off then too. And I leave to go after the rest of them.
Quickly, and don't trip on your way out until you feel the door slam, and you can see Talon and Rush, who have left the room, have decided to go into the kitchen and just close the door behind them. You see them disappearing and like they ain't staying in that room. There's too much tension in that room right now. Now, Vesh, you are running up and up and up these stairs. You can head up, you can see the skyport. As you get there, you hear this whirring, this sound of all these sky ships going overhead. And you can head up to this huge stone platform. There are all manner of people up here. There's lots of people with bags. There's lots of people just on their own. They've got lists. They're talking to people. And you can see this ship. This ship, which is very much like the one from your vision. And this huge wooden platform with gold inlaid in the railings and in the carvings. This huge sail, which has almost like a honeycomb glowing sort of feel to it. And the huge engines on the back and elementals that sit there powering them. And there's this is a huge platform, so there are about 20 to 30 of these.
The one that looks like the one from his vision, Vesh will run towards it and try to figure out who he needs to talk to buy passage. Who's the right person for him to do. He actually still has the dagger in his hand because that has always been his plan to buy passage. He doesn't know if it's enough or not, but that's his plan. So he starts sort of somewhat frantically. He knows he's got a short time to stay remaining looking like just a kid in case, and hoping it will be enough that the others won't spot him, and starts looking around. How far behind are they?
Well, speaking of that, we're now going to pop over to Tart and Emet and Blue, who are tearing down the streets. You head into this sort of like this really busy market. You can see someone has definitely crashed. You can see further up the road, this market store has been crashed into, and sorry, material has fallen down over to this like form that is currently moving about and shaking about, and people, oh, for God's sake, like trying to pull this off.
Ridiculous. I'm going to go over there, pull off so I can have a word with Vesh.
Yeah, you swipe that away, and this scared boy looks there, and it's not Vesh, but he's just like, I'm so sorry. I don't really know what happened. I was there 1 minute, and then did you push me? As he looks over at the other kid that was sat on the cart, and then there's just like this sort of, not a fight, but like throw something at each other sort of moment.
That's sneaky. He's learning. I'm so proud and angry.
That's not Vesh.
No, it's not Vesh.
Imet, can you roll a perception for me, please? Okay. So you have, you look down and you can see, you sort of almost trip over it yourself, Vesh's scarf. Now, Vesh, correct me if I'm wrong, did you leave your shield there as well?
No, I wrapped the scarf because I didn't want the scarf to shrink. So I wanted his scarf to stay Vesh
around. Oh, sorry, I thought you
so that it would be enough to cover the shield when it was, so that he could wrap the shield in what basically became a giant scarf to his new smaller size. Okay. It was because I figured the scarf wouldn't cover the shield if it got shrunk with reduce as well.
What you trip over, you
Heart taught me good.
Slip on like this, almost like a chocolate sweet that has fallen and smeared across the floor, and you can see it. And this is one of Vesh's.
Emet looks up and he immediately starts moving in the direction that he's found the chocolate to see if he can find Vesh further ahead.
Let me stand on your shoulders.
Emet slows down long enough to like reach one arm down and like throw her onto his shoulders.
Standing on his shoulders like we're doing a performance.
Yeah, you can scout, sort of look around. Now, Tart, I'm going to need you to have a look. I've got this great image in my head right now. Tart, I need you to roll a perception, please.
I'm going to use a nat 20, Alice.
Nat 20, okay. So, what do your elf eyes see? No, you look out and you can see the skyport, and there is something telling you that's where he went. If you had anything, maybe from the distance, because of the shield, it was so circular, you can see a shape more than anything, but you can't confirm it, but something is telling you.
My binoculars. That's right, I have my binoculars. That's why I'm so good at seeing you, Vesh. Okay, well, don't know where else he would even go except I don't know where else he would go. So come on, Emet!
Are you going to stay on Emet's shoulders, or?
That would be adorable. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like flip down, somersault down and take off.
And Blue will follow wherever you go. And I'm gonna take a super quick bio, and if anyone else does, like, go for it. I mean, I've got a sore throat, so I'm gonna get a drink, but I will be back in a second. So.
Jay.
I have been planning this. I was like, okay, how do I do this? It was like when I was taking my last spell slot, I was like, well, because to me, it was funny because it was kind of like, well, this is kind of, it's kind of cheesy for him to have enlarge reduce, but then I was kind of like, but it also makes sense for him to have enlarge reduce. But I was actually saving it to use for some time when we might have a really important stealth, because he could shrink and Emmett could carry. But then when he started, especially with that wild magic surge,
right?
He was already like, oh, is he in the wrong crowd? And also trying to get there. And torn, I think, on whether or not to tell Tart, but also he's worried about the whole people not being who they are, that all, no one's who they seem. So I was looking through, because I've got those sorcery points, and I'm like, well, so what? Because I took extended spell or whatever so that you can increase their duration.
I was about to say it only lasts a minute, you little.
It doubles it each time though. Oh. So it's a minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 16 minutes, or 8 minutes. All right, whatever, is it quadruple the time or double the time? Anyway, it gets me long enough. It got me longer. That was the big thing, was to try to get longer amount of time that I could. Yeah, I'm trying to with sorcery points. Yeah, I think it doubles the duration. Yeah, so it would go from a minute to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8 with each spell slot. Oh, right, and then 8 to 16. That's what, because it's 4 spots. 1 minute doesn't count. 1 to 2, 4, 8, 16 for the 4.
Well, we are coming for you, so.
There's just a little kid up there buying passage.
I'm going to punch the little kid in the face in front of everyone.
innocent
No,
little
I
kid.
wouldn't.
Just an innocent little kid.
Oh, she's becoming her mother.
am. What spell?
Okay. So you guys stop running towards the skyport. Kaya, what are you doing? Are you just sprinting in the same direction? Are you heading?
No,
that way, or-
I'm just sort of carefully walking in the direction I think they might be going in, but I really have no idea.
Where are you sort of headed? What direction are you heading in?
Can I tell which way they went?
You probably would have, if you, as you headed out of the street and headed towards the main, like, pathway, you would have seen the market, and you would have seen the sort of the chaos from this other kid being shoved, and probably seen Tart and Emet like looking with Blue, and then there's probably like a crowd parting, so that you can see which way they are running.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna double dash, get over there to them.
Yeah, okay. So, Tart, and Emet, as you are running and Blue is close behind you, you can see that Kaya is coming up close behind. Are you shouting anything back, or are you all just sprinting towards the port?
Just as fast as possible. I don't
Okay.
know this schedule. It could be on a boat.
Could you all make like an athletics check, please, as you're going to be running through all these. This market is busy.
I'm gonna do like I started the campaign with. I'm gonna use a nat 20 on acrobatics, just kind of be parkouring up over like varying carts, people, etc.
Yeah, no, describe to me how you do that. Like,
so
there's like a cart that's being pulled across one of the part of the.
It's like full
yeah.
double step butterfly twist over it, land,
Okay, awesome.
roll, like full on Assassin's Creed.
I will also use one of my nat 20s.
Thinking about
Sorry, I froze
rolling it. I probably shouldn't.
So, athletics. What? So, in fact, yeah. So, Tart, would you do an acrobatics or an athletics? What is she doing right now?
What she would probably do is just slipping through people as best she can.
So maybe like a probably would be an athletics then, unless you think you're doing this in a particular way that you want to use acrobatics. Like, are you using?
I'm going to. Can I do this with prestidigitation? Yeah. I'm just going to make a loud boom and just yell out to everyone to get out of the way to clear my path.
As you do this, it's like all the faces in the market stop. You see Kaya sort of spring over this thing, but the crowd just goes boom. It completely parts. So Emet, you don't even have to roll this.
There we go.
Tart is just running, and Emet, I'm assuming you are following.
Angry.
Okay, we're gonna hop over to Vesh.
So have I located what looks like the owner of the ship, the ticket person of the ship, someone who looks like...
Yeah, there's a tiefling there. Like, good evening, or afternoon, I should probably say. Are you already booked on? And she's got like this journal. It's like,
no, I'm not booked on. This is the ship for Zendrick, right? For I know the name of this city because I know it. In Zendrick, the big port, which is called Storm. I can't remember.
Is it called Stormreach?
I think it is Stormreach.
there's quite a few around that. So which bit are you specifically trying to?
Zendrick. There is standby. I know this one. Sorry, I have to look it up.
Yeah, that's the easy dock place if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, Stormreach as a gateway
No, let
to
him
Zendrick.
forget.
Yeah.
Go buy us time.
So yes, is this the airship to Stormreach?
Yes, it is. Are you booked on?
No, I'm not. I was wondering if I could buy my passage. I have this dagger, and I will trade the whole dagger for it.
And she sort of looks, so it's like, young man, if you give me that dagger, I will give you a full meal, and I will let you get on a boat, because that's a nice dagger. I would advise you go and take it to somewhere else and get some more gold for that, but...
I don't have time. I want to get on this ship. When does it leave?
Well, you better run. It's leaving in the next few minutes.
Perfect.
And she sort of takes the dagger from you, and she's sort of looking at it like... Ooh, like...
Consider it a tip. Thanks.
She always doesn't know what to say, and then she's just like, George, get this wonderful gentleman's bag for him. Get the bag for him. Do you have any bags on you, or is it?
No, I've just got my backpack and the shit. And I mean, again, he's looking like a little kid. So
yeah, he's. Are you traveling with anyone, or?
Oh, just me. Yeah, just me.
Okay. Well, welcome aboard.
Can I go down? Is there? I'll just get on board.
Yes,
and just.
Welcome aboard the Stormweave.
That's a cool name. And he stops for a second, like, wow, that's cool.
Like, oh, thank you. It's not my boat, but I do this bit where I get everyone on and settled, and enjoy your flight. And there's like you can.
Quick question: the airships, are they able to travel like in bad weather and fog and stuff? Or do they have to stop?
Extreme weather. It depends on the extreme weather, how bad it is, but we can do most of it. We are very good in our things now.
Thank you.
That's okay. Like, and sort of.
I didn't want to get airsick or anything.
That's fine. Oh no, we have fantastic stability. It's one of the new things that we are working on, but you'll be fine.
Great.
And she gestures towards the platform, and as you walk over it, you can look down and you just see the drop.
Yeah. Can I do a perception check to see if I can see a giant Warforged and a very angry tart running up or down below or through the street?
You can make a perception
I'm totally burning it at 20.
Okay.
Which my speed now is up to a 40.
Yeah. So, sorry.
I'm moving at 90 around, basically. So every 6 seconds, I'm moving 90 feet.
Okay. So.
Right, because you got rogue dash.
Yeah. You can see almost just at the bottom of these high stairs, they are running. And Tart, you're not moving as fast. It is like Emet carrying you, pushing you. Is Kaya doing anything? I mean, Blue is just, there's no hope on him catching up. He's like doing that clunky thing as he's running.
Yeah, Emet, give me a boost.
As I pass Tar, I will pick her up.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is fine.
And you continue to run. Now, Vesh. Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm going to try to make sure that I make a break in front of Tart and Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the fastest one there. You said there's like a long set of stairs that lead up the skyport?
Oh yeah, this is a long set of stairs. It's like huge wide steps carved into rock.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get up there first.
Yep, you can keep going. And Vesh, you are on this boat. You can feel that creak of the wood beneath it. You can feel that air on your face, like the fresh air smell. As there are other people getting settled, there's some seats that people do have, but there seems to be a more sort of a make yourself comfortable thing. And your ticket from it looks like you've got one of like the top tickets. Like there's a cabin that you could probably go in, sit down.
Okay. Are we like unmooring, or are we still there at the port?
You hear a horn blow, and you can hear someone shout something. You're not too sure what it is, but you know the line is being cast.
Okay.
As it's slowly... Kaya.
when the horn blows.
First of all, well, Tart and Emet, you effectively leave Blue behind. He's not like behind that he won't ever catch up, but he will be closing in on you, and you see Kaya whiz past you. Sorry, did I miss something when I...
Well, no, just as soon as the thing blows and like the lines are being cast, I'll hold an action depending on what you want to do, but Vesh has got one last thing he wants to do.
Okay.
But we can,
Kaya, you head up the stairs. There's this tiefling on the right. This is a busy group of people as other people are queuing up for the next boats to take off. Yes.
So, again, depending on how, I was thinking this was like, how high up is it up to get up the tower?
Oh yeah, it's a long way.
What I'm doing, then you tell me. You can do what order it's going to be in. As the horn blows and as we're casting off, Vesh drops fog cloud at 3rd level at the top of the tower and using thaumaturgy, hoping that our good friend has spread the rumors that something bad with the morning happened in Sharn is going to boom out in his voice. It's the morning. It's returned.
Yeah.
And boosh, put a 60-foot wide fog cloud covering the rest of the terminal and hopefully scaring the hell out of all those people up there to make them start running down the stairs.
Okay, so Tart and Emet, you see this. You're coming up. You're sort of over halfway. You can see this fog erupt from the top. You can hear screaming. And Kaya, as you arrive at the top step, that is when this drops. And you can see the tiefling that you sort of first greeted you with a smile is engulfed with this whoosh of all this smoke and this mist. As she screams, other people keep screaming, and they run. Lots of them come down the steps. However, lots of them just scatter and hide in general. There are 2 sets of lines of stairs, but one goes just down to another platform. Kaya and Tart and Emet, how are you going to brace yourself as these people come? So, like, is it going to be a dexterity to get out of the way? Emet, you're carrying Tart. Is this a strength, like you're just going to stand?
So, am I at the top of the tower when this breaks out? Or where?
As you arrive, you step on the top step of the platform, and that's when it drops.
Okay. Basically, as soon as I see it happening, I just dash forward. As soon as I know the fog's coming and I hear the sound, my goal is to still make a beeline straight for it.
You can run in a straight line, but you haven't seen what ship.
Okay.
The smoke hit, it was like the tiefling turned to you to greet you, and then it was an explosion of mist and smoke.
Would I know anything about maybe being able to tell where the direction from the fog cloud is cast, or where the projection of the fog cloud is?
Let me check the wording.
I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Breathe first. Breathe first.
It's a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point within range, so it's actually coming from wherever it emerges from a center point. It's not from the caster.
Okay. Well, I am a detective, so I'm going to do a nat 20 to see if I can find Vesh. Scanning around quick.
Is that your last? Yeah, that's your last nat 20, isn't it? I think so.
So I used one to parkour, and I used this one now.
One before that as well, I think.
Yeah, I think Scrat hasn't quite caught up. I should be down to 1.
Oh, no, sorry. I think you got another one donated to you. So you've got one more after this.
Okay. So I'm going to nat 20 to see if I can find it, because I am a detective.
What? So So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for basically Vesh's spells have always had some sort of visual effect. He might be glowing, he might be sparking, he might have just gotten bigger, or someone might have just tripped and fallen on their face before this happened.
Okay, so you are running and you are bolting forward, and there's a crackle of what looks like maybe sparks or lightning as a ship, and it's pulled away.
Okay. I'm going to, make a dash for it.
Okay. This is quite far, so I'm going to need you to make an athletics check. Are you running and jumping to get on this ship?
Yep, and as I do,
Mm-hmm.
I summon my packed weapon as a war pick, so I have something to like grab on with.
Okay.
If I do make it.
You will need to make 2 separate rolls. You will need to make a strength to get the pick into the boat, and you will also need to make an athletics to get there.
I'll burn the last nat 20 to make the jump. As I'm mid jump, I say under my breath in the direction of Echo, and I say, "If I fuck up, this better kill you." And I am going to use one of my advantages to make that roll to make the strength check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go for it.
$16.
On a 16, so you use the nat 20 to jump. Is that correct what I'm thinking?
Nat 20 is the one to jump, yeah.
Yeah. So you make the jump, and with a 16, your pick gets in there, and it splits the wood, and it starts going as you sort of start sliding back, and you hanging in the air as this happens. Now, Tart and Emet, what are you doing as you get close? You're basically at the top now, and you can see this tiefling like coughing in this smoke.
So, Emet will rage out and pretty much like almost tuck Tart like a football and just start barreling through people, knocking people over.
Yeah.
And I will use one of my nat 20s to just push through everyone.
Your nat 20s, you basically are a bull coming through this like crowd of people as you head towards on the platform, and it is still fairly smoky.
But Emet will have no idea what ship to stop at.
No.
So he's just going to keep moving until he's
you
made
go
aware.
past these ships, and you can't see Vesh on any of them. In fact, most of them are people now trying to get away from this mist and fog.
Do we see a girl hanging in the air from a ship that just took off?
Roll a perception for me through this.
Because y'all probably, it's heavily obscured because you're in the fog cloud.
I'm about to not be. Just gonna do this first real quick. Where'd my sheet go? There it is. Nope.
No. You don't hear, you don't see Kaya on this boat or anything like that, but you can hear some people freaking out, screaming that there's someone hanging onto the ship.
Oh boy. Alice, I never picked my other magical secret.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Tart starts flying. Not on purpose. She just starts to float out of Emet's hand and just rise through the air above the cloud.
That Emet
What's going on?
I don't. Is that normal?
Blue arrives just like, yay! As you see you, she thinks you look quite happy about it.
Balloons!
And you soar up into the air above this cloud, and you can see Vesh's ship. Vesh, you have seen this pickaxe and Kaya be flung at this ship and crash into it and almost fall off the edge. And is that Tart rising up from the clouds?
Kaya just under breath, oh, of course.
Yep,
What is Vesh doing right now as he sees this? Is that the reaction Vesh is having?
No, because I think that this is the player. This is the player. Vesh seeing Tart and Kaya there on the ship does thaumaturgy again and goes, Tart! Saved Kaya! And casts Thunderwave to knock Kaya off the ship.
When Emet hears Vesh, Emet starts yelling. And Emet will start yelling out to Vesh. Like, Vesh, we were supposed to go together. You said we would sail together. Why did you leave me?
Ash knows how to do this. You hear this, Vesh, shouted through this smoke. You see Kaya clinging on for dear life, effectively, right now. She's wedged into this side of the ship, and you see Tart rising up out of this smoke. You don't see him yet, but boy, do you hear him.
Well, I guess first there's the thunder wave. And so for pushback, because we talked about this with my ordning and my storm sorcerer, it's a DC 18.
Groovy. Yeah, I know. How much damage do I take?
It's only 10 thunder damage, but it knocks you back 10 feet.
Okay.
Which I assume knocks you off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
It knocks off the ship, but you are roughly 12 feet away as the ship has moved. Do you do anything to grab hold of where you are, or does Emet? Because Emet, you will see Kaya. You will see Kaya at this point because she's effectively flung backwards like a...
Yeah, I assume Emet probably also hears me say, save Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Emet will attempt to catch Kaya.
How? The one thing I will tell you that is around you, these ships were moored by rope. They're on big metal hooked with the rope round them, which have obviously just dropped. There's 2 other lower platforms, but otherwise Kaya has literally been shoved into the abyss. What are you doing?
How far away would Kaya be as she falls past the platform?
She's about 2 feet.
Okay. Emet will start running towards the direction where Kaya is falling and grab one of the more ropes in one hand and wrap it around his arm completely and attempt to jump off the platform and catch Kaya.
Oh, you can do a Captain America.
Yeah. Could you roll for me?
Or Die Hard? That's not a good Die Hard.
Yeah, a strength for me. Or are you using one of your nat 20s? I'm sort of assuming.
Use that 20. Please use that 20. Oh, are you gonna roll
I
it?
love rolling in these moments, but alright,
It's up to you. This is not
Yeah,
me
totally.
saying.
Yeah, it's totally up to you.
This is me saying, what are you doing?
I'll use a nat 20. I still have 2 to use, so...
Explain this picture for me. As Kaya is flung, Kaya, you are flung backwards. You feel this static energy hit you. You feel pretty fried and hot and burning as your body is flung backwards.
So Vesh yells that out, and Emet understands and is already wrapping the rope around his arm at that point. And as he starts running, that's when Emet starts yelling out to Vesh as he is running and jumping off the pier to try and catch Kaya.
Kaya, as Emet swings down, it's like Emet comes at you very, very quickly. You don't know where he's come from, and you feel that crash as he goes into you. And how do you land? Are you coming back up the other side? What are you doing?
That would be epic. We're going to leave that up to the dive roll. There might be a moment where Emet just has to see if he can pull them both up.
Yeah. Do an athletics for me, and we'll see if you land majestically or if this is opening up. 13. You land back up on the platform, but it's a crash. You both roll, the rope snaps as I'm assuming you sort of almost like koala bed Kaya, and you guys are rolling and you crash into some of the crates at the side.
Kaya turns around and she elbows him right in the face. Why did you save me?
Do you wish to die?
Is that not obvious, man?
No.
I want Echo to die. Therefore, I will be the harbinger of that. Thanks for ruining it. You want it Vesh to behave and stop being a tantruming child? Well, maybe if he had something on his conscience, it would have worked.
You seem a bit dramatic. Maybe you should calm down. You are here, and now you need to learn how to deal with that. We are all here, and we all must learn how to deal with that. Inumet stands up, brushes himself off, and goes over to Blue.
That looked fun.
It kind of was, Blue.
And there's that like little flicker in like the color of the eyes. Now what? As like Blue looks up, and Tart, what are you doing? Because Blue and I'm guessing Emet look up.
I'm gonna go through a window.
I'm gonna go through a window. Go for it.
Somebody like, what? Yeah.
I figure a lot of these are sight spells, so Vesh is probably on the top deck. If that's, are you going through a window just because you want to go through a window?
Oh no, I was looking for Vesh.
Oh yeah, no, Vesh, because a lot of these are line of sight stuff.
Right,
So
okay.
yeah, he was on the top deck. I'm thinking that the fog was going to hide him from all of it.
Then we're Peter Panning it. I don't know how to control this, but I'm trying really hard.
When Vesh heard Emet call out, I think he probably collapses just sort of in a heap on the deck, this sort of fugue that he was somewhat in. But I mean, it was a very calculated fugue, but I mean, he was on mission. It suddenly kind of all catches up with him. You know, and he did make a promise to Emet, and he was worried about Blue. But, you know, he got kind of freaked out by the whole thing, but not that it's an excuse. He calculated and did exactly what he did, but now it's just kind of like, you know, it was all supposed to work. I also think probably about that time, it's probably been 15 minutes, if not a little bit more. So the reduce has worn off, and so he sort of like crumpled on the deck, sort of returns to his normal size.
And you were surrounded by people. There's not a lot of people on here, but they're looking at you like that. A lot of them are pointing up and looking at Tart. Some of them have just seen this Warforged swoop down after this explosion created by this child, effectively sending this elf across the sky, almost dropping to their death. What do you do, Vesh?
Vesh is just sort of crumpled on the ground because I assume he saw Emet. He knows that there's nothing to stop Tart now, and he's going to have to face Tart.
You see Emet and Blue stood on the edge, looking out to you. The ship has stopped moving away. It's like someone has pulled it to a stop.
Yeah, I gently, as I can, land on the deck. I just look at him, a little disgusted.
Didn't know you could do that.
Me neither. Do you have any more tricks up your sleeve? Otherwise, I need to go talk to the captain.
I paid for my passage.
I'm very persuasive.
You haven't paid. I know you can. Your mom's better at this.
Better at what, Vesh? Being hurt?
I've got to go to Zendrick.
We have to go to Zendrick.
How can it be we when we don't even know who we are?
What are you talking about?
Your mom wasn't who we thought she was. Echo and Kaya had things that didn't go as expected. Heck, I mean, the Warforged are some good and some bad, and some are. Emmett fought with giants, and these are going to come try to do bad things. How can I? I've known you guys. You all are so nice, but we've only known each other for so short a time. I think I know what I have to do, but I'm afraid that I could be the person who makes everything go wrong because I'm not smart enough to realize that I'm bringing bad to a good place. So I can only make sure it's just me.
You're confused and you're scared.
Yeah. Aren't you?
Yes. But don't run away from my problems anymore.
I wasn't strong enough to leave when I needed to leave the people who I knew I was hurting.
You haven't hurt any of us until today, Vesh.
I knew it could hurt you guys, but the people I don't want to hurt are the people in Zendrick, the giants.
You don't even know them.
They're doing something really important.
How do you know that?
They showed me. The giants are guarding the door to the dreaming dark.
Things like that would be super helpful to know sometimes.
The thing inside your mom said he wasn't the only one. He was sending someone else. How do I know one of the someone else's isn't all you? I mean, we could tell something was wrong with your mom, but I don't know how to tell if there's something wrong with you or if there's something wrong with Kaya. I was going to bring Emmett, but I knew Emmett probably wouldn't let me. Not all of us.
We have to earn some trust back, I think. I don't want to go there to open this door. I want to keep it shut.
It's weird. Do you remember Sharn? Oh, I mean, when we were in Sharn. That very first vision. I saw my mom. And I saw someone who I thought was my dad. And he said that only 2 escaped. And then the vision faded away. And I kind of figured one was me. Since you didn't really know where you came from, I kind of thought maybe the other was you. But back at the house, when I talked to that thing inside your mom, I realized it wasn't that it was me and someone else. It was that thing and another one. Two escaped out from behind the door and are out here in the world doing all these bad things. But none of us can know who the other one is.
Well, it's not me. I'll show you what I really am under all this, if you want. Just me. I don't show that to anyone, ever.
Do you still trust me enough? Have I ruined everything?
No, Vesh. I think you're just growing up.
He kind of looks down at it and thinks, well, I seem to do that pretty fast these days. It's not that easy.
No, it's not. Grew up fast too.
I gave him my dagger, so they said I could have one of the nice cabins. Do you think it'd be enough for them to turn around the ship and get all of us?
Oh, I think I'll be enough for them to turn around this ship and get all of us. Okay, you go to your cabin, you sit, and you... What did you name the teddy bear?
Frederick.
The owlbear. Frederick. Go hold Frederick and just breathe, okay? I'm going to talk to the captain, and he's going to listen to me. He or she, they will listen to me.
I would like to see the real you, but it doesn't have to be today. When you're ready. When I've earned it again.
Okay. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Vesh goes into the cabin.
You walk into the cabin. There's a lot of people almost like trying to not look at you. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't want it. Like they're sort of trying to stay out of whatever's just happened. Some of them are still panicked, but calming down. And you can walk down onto a lower deck. And there's a long corridor. And looking at the ticket you were given, you can find your cabin. It's a simple cabin. It's got 2 beds in there. And just a little bit of room.
Bash just sort of goes and sits on the bed and pulls his knees up to his chest, and from the little pocket inside of that, actually, I think he pulls out his cloak, the lightning cloak, and sort of drapes it over top of himself like a tent, almost as though he's hiding under the sheets. But, as the lightning, sort of, and storm clouds chase upon it, it was almost like he's outside in a storm, or storm overhead, not in the rain. He pulls out Frederick and just sort of Home was supposed to get hurt. I thought it was a really good plan too. But I messed it up.
And up on the top deck, Tart, you can stride up to where the engines are, and there's a man in a uniform, and he sees you approach. He's like, "Oh, okay," because you flew onto the ship. He's like, he doesn't know whether to salute or not, but he's keeping his hands down. He's like, "Good morning, afternoon."
Yep, it's afternoon. Yep. Hello.
Hello.
You look like a very competent young man.
I am.
Great.
He says thank you. This is a fairly elderly one. He's like, "Oh, thank you."
Can you do me a small favor? She's frozen, but the look is
perfect
so good.
frozen look.
Look.
It was a perfect frozen look.
It was so good. It was so good.
I'm gonna have to go back and try and find it now.
Can you do me a small favor? Just a little one?
Yes. Yes, of course I can. What can I do?
To turn the ship around and dock it, because we have to go back and pick up 2 more people.
We forgot your friends.
Yes. My dear friends.
Yes, you're not that far, but of course, yeah. You can hear the slight fear in his voice as he turns the ship around.
Yeah,
as much as this is a high-tech ship, it's got an old, I forgot what they're called. It's got the wheel as he turns it around. And Emet, and Blue is next to you as you see the ship slowly come into dock. And Kaya, where are you?
Kaya's been staring at Emmett after, just being told that she has to figure it out. For a moment, she kind of glares at him, and her face softens, and she says, "That's what you did, isn't it? Figure yourself out."
Trying to, at least.
Out of all of them, I think you're the only one who understands what I'm going through. You and I were both created for some purpose, yours clearer than mine.
Would you like to figure this out with us?
No. I can't do that to you.
You're right. I have been there. Warforged are probably the only ones closest who can understand, but I also understand the need to figure some things out alone.
I am a mess, Emmett. I am a mixture of rage and vengeance and spite and all these things that my programming... I didn't understand that word until recently. My programming is telling me that that's not who I am. Here I am, acting like this. Question, is the fog still going?
No, it's dispersed.
It would have fallen when he
Yeah.
lost concentration. When he fell to the ground, the fog.
Okay, just double checking. So, best of luck in that. I will be figuring this out. Do be careful.
If you need help, I think you know where we're heading.
Kaya is going to approach Emet. And I just gotta double check something quick. Excusez-moi. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. No, it's not gonna work like that. She says, all right. I appreciate that. You know, I'd give you something to remember me by, but all of my stuff is either in blue or it's bound to me. So much for a goodbye present, Emet. But just know I appreciate you.
At that, Emet kind of strokes his moss beard. And when he does, he's got one of the tiny flowers that was growing in it, and he hands it to you. That's okay. I won't forget.
She takes it. She tucks it behind her ear and says, till then. She turns and she goes down the stairs.
And Blue is like, bye. Like, as he's just sort of waving with this clanky arm that doesn't quite look like it fits on his body.
Over her shoulder, Kaya says, be good, Blue. Listen to your father.
I try. And as Kaya disappears over the steps, you see the boat comes in. You can see Tart. Tart, where are you stood at this point? Are you still by the captain, or?
She probably went to check on Vesh.
Okay. Emet, you have seen this platform come down, and Blue looks over to you. Where are we going?
To find giants. And a door. And hopefully not open it.
That's an interesting prospect. And he starts walking on to the ship. Emet, do you walk onto the ship?
I do. I let Blue walk ahead a few steps, and I turn to look at Kaya disappearing, and then I walk and board the ship.
Tart, you, or Vesh, how do you let Tart know which room you're in?
He probably didn't close the door all the way. It's probably, especially after all the drama, it's probably the only door that's ajar down below.
Before she walks in, actually, as she crosses the deck from the captain to the cabin, she'll like flag someone down on the who's been watching, maybe like a small kid or something, and she like scribbles something, rolls it up and like gives him a couple gold, probably doesn't have change, and tells him where to find her mother and Rush and Tarlin.
And the kid's like, thank you, and disappears.
Mm-hmm. All right. She kind of waves it down at Emet and then turns and goes into Vesh's cabin.
You would find him sort of still, his cloak over top of him, the spell weave, beautiful cloak that you bought him, with the dark clouds and the sort of lightning flashing behind the clouds sort of over his head. And you can make out that he sort of has his knees pulled up into him and sort of Frederick up on top of his knees, and he's just sort of looking at it. Frederick, but it's pulled up over his head right now. If you make, I mean, is Tart in Tart mode? Is she silently entering, or does she make it?
She's silently entering, and she'll probably go sit next to you on the bed.
Might kind of pull it down off of his face.
Hi.
Hi.
Emet's coming.
I'm glad.
I passed on a message for us to Rush and Tarlin and Mother that we had to go and for them to be safe and that we will miss them very much.
Thank you. Are we the bad guys? Are we going to accidentally be the bad guys?
No.
I don't know lots about giants. I just know about Ugola. And I think that, I guess I know the Dreaming Dark is bad, but even when I was in my visions, sometimes I didn't know whether the giants were opening the door, or closing the door, or locking the door, or unlocking the door.
Well, we are going to keep it closed.
I figure the big thing is to make sure stuff doesn't change. I'm not sure how we take care of Sharn, or if we can take care of Sharn. But
I think we have to find Cole Cannith.
I think Cole Cannith went to Cyre. I think we have to go to Zendrick first.
To find this door.
To stop the other. This is gonna rhyme, damn it. the other that wasn't in your mother. I was already there. Who's trying to come let them all out. There were Tart. There were thousands of them behind the door. More than I could, as far as I could see. And then one who I'd seen before on the throne, just smiling and confident, like it was already done.
Well, when men smile confidently at me, they usually have no reason to be. We'll stop them.
What about your wedding? Ophelia's wedding?
Oh. I don't know what they all had to do with this, if anything. But, it wasn't going to be a long honeymoon.
we're gonna kill him?
I was going to see if he killed my sister. And if he had, then yes, I was going to kill him.
You were gonna have to marry the man who killed your sister? I'm sorry. And then meaning everything. I'm so sorry. And just hugs her.
Don't remember the last time I was hugged.
I don't know the last time I hugged someone. I usually break things before it can happen.
It's fine, I have very hardy ribs.
Wait. Do you miss your sister? I know it was for the best, but I miss the merchant too. Sometimes you get so used to being lonely, you don't even realize that you're lonely anymore until you meet people.
You know, the day that I met you all, I hadn't been out of the skywalk in months. It was my first day of freedom in a long time. You're right, I don't think I realized how lonely I was.
I won't try to leave again.
Thank you.
And you hear a voice by the door. I won't leave either. And Blue has
Blue!
stood by the door.
Oh, hi, Blue.
Where is Emmet at this point?
Emmet was standing outside the door too.
They
And then when
both
Blue
just
does this,
watching awkwardly.
it's a very like parent thing as Blue just does that. He's like, ugh.
Sorry.
No, Blue is good.
Vesh looks very guiltily at Emmet.
Emmet looks at Vesh. Vesh, come here.
Vesh swings his legs, sort of has to kind of untangle himself from his cloak, and Tart, and I assume there's a little parentalness to that, so I think he kind of Vesh kind of and walks over, and now that he's a little taller than that, sort of head hung low, like he knows you're not mad, you're just disappointed.
Perfect dad moment.
Yes.
So Emmet kind of takes Vesh by the shoulders and pulls him out of the cabin onto the deck. And says, hold your head up, Vesh, and look. We're on an airship together, and we're going to go find giants. Remember that, like Emmet's arm is around Vesh.
As soon as a player can contain himself, Vesh may contain himself too. He sort of puts his arms out, like when we were up on the sword bridge. We're on an airship. We're going to go find our home.
That's right. The place where you can't break things because everything's already too big for you anyway.
Yep. I didn't want to leave you behind, but I didn't know how to go and bring you to.
You don't have to run, Vesh. We can be scary. We are not good people. But we're going to do good things. And mostly now because we have a Vesh watching us. And we have to do good things now.
I think you're going to be the one who keeps us all good in the end, Emmett.
Emet shrugs at that. I've done very bad things, Vesh. But yes, it's time to be good guys now.
Yep. Let's all be good together. Where's Kaya?
Kaya's gone to find her own way to be good.
I understand.
Kaya is awake now to what she is, what they are. And it's not an easy thing to deal with.
When I was figuring out what was going on with me, I left too. And I guess that's why you went to the woods, isn't it?
Yes. That's why I went to the woods.
Well, now we get to be in the clouds for a little bit.
That's right.
Hey, you guys, did you see me fly?
I did.
Yes.
Yes,
It was
That
pretty
was-
cool.
it was pretty cool. I
That
can do it
was
again.
very cool.
Thank you.
Maybe you can learn to fly for real as good as you fly on the ribbons.
That would be awesome. That would add so much to my act. If we ever go back.
We'll go back.
Do you
We
want
have-
to go back?
We have to save Sharn.
Yes.
We're the good guys now.
That's right.
That evening, what do you spend doing before you go to sleep?
Tart probably finds a place on deck where she can look out at the stars and brings the lute with her. And plays the lullaby on the deck.
Vesh?
He goes down to his room and does his evening prayer in Giant. But now the first words are changed. He goes, Vesh, Tart, Blue, Met, strength of old, both old and proud, watch my sleep till dawn arise, darkness flees, where our good hearts thrive.
As you rest your head that night, your dreams take you to a temple, to that temple, where you see your shield locked into a door and twisted. As all the doors lock and change, and the giant who does this hums. And this hum, this voice is familiar. You recognize the voice of this giant. As static flickers between his fingertips. You know who this is. As he smiles and leaves the temple. Nimet, you walk out onto the deck. You hear the tune from Tart's lute sing out into this dark, starry night. As you pass, as you sort of go along the land before turning out over the sea, you see Shan, and you see a mist at its gates. And then we flash over to a marketplace, somewhere hot, somewhere warm, and so there's someone walking through all these people, weaving through these people. Every now and again they say hello, and as they say hello and turn the other way, their face changes and turns to another face to say hello, talks to a vendor, buys some material, gives a nod, throws some coin their way. And they keep proceeding through this market, which is full of spices. The dirt, sandy ground leads up to like a cafe sort of restaurant. There's a few here. And this person ruffles their hair so it changes color and goes and sits down in this cafe opposite another person. And this other person is smoking a pipe and leans forward. So, you finally arrived, did you? And this person leans back with a smile in their chair. Yes, my friend, yes I did. Now, tell me, how much do you know about the temples of Zendrick? And that is where we will finish the finale of Eberron. And guys, find out next season, because Eberron is coming back. So find out next season where our wonderful characters end up, who that man in the cafe is, and what this all means. Guys, you're awesome, is what I want to say, first of all. So I think we will go around and you can, like I said, plug yourself as always. Maybe you can talk about this session, you can talk about the season as a whole, how you felt through it. So yeah, we will start off with the wonderful Derek, who also played Kaya. Hello, Derek.
Hi, everybody. I'm almost sure I know who I am right now. I don't know. It's hard when you've been in Kaya's head all day. It has been an absolute pleasure playing in this season. My God, I don't even know where to begin. I think one thing that really stood out to me is that I love all these ways that the characters connected. Like, I can't... favorite moment, my God. I was briefly on an airship till somebody knocked me off. But there was all these things throughout the season that one thing I loved. I don't think could have necessarily, been planned. Is that all of our characters have these all these interesting like hooks into each other. Like that last line I said about Kaya's programming. That was something I realized that was like a connection that she and Emmett have. Is that he had programming he overcame. She did as well. There's all these really neat things, these parallels that all these awesome characters have, and that was so fun to explore this season. If I had a favorite part, oh my god, Tall Squall, that plan, what is wrong with you? That was brilliant. That was absolutely amazing. As somebody who looks at D&D content all day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch out what I do with Enlarge and Reduce. But where you can find me. You can find me over on Twitter at archmage_Derek, or over at the Mage College, themagecollege.wordpress.com, where myself, my amazing wife Kana, and our friend Tahina create D&D 5e content. At the end of the month, we'll be coming out with Goldeneye's Guide to Warlocks. I keep almost saying Guildmasters. Thank God I didn't do that this time. And this week, we released the College of Astronomy Bard. Go check that out. It's so much fun. We created it for our friend Kiana a couple months back, and she was nice enough to share it with all of us. So, and then you'll find me in places, in stuff, in things coming soon. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not say, so you'll see me around. But tomorrow night, check out or catch your choice. The season finale, the season finale of Scattered Ashes, the 7th Sea game, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Scraticus Academy. Till then, thanks so much, guys.
Awesome, thank you. And we're going to hop over now to the wonderful Lauren, who plays mostly Tart with a little bit of Ophelia.
Yay! Sneaky son of a bitch.
You taught me well.
No. That was a blast. This is my first time ever playing in Eberron, and I really, really like it. All the stuff that's been built up over the years, and the stuff that Alice has put into it. From today, a favorite moment. All of it. Flying. Flying is always the best.
Oh, that was, yeah.
I haven't taken fly in a while, so death from above. I'll be back next season on this show and on another one that's going to be announced soon that I'm very excited for and have a costume for. I can't wait. Otherwise, the best place to catch me is... Wait, there it is. Boom! It's Project Athena, a Public Cthulhu campaign on Grimjack 21502. We've been playing a year. It's insane. So if you want to see us all cry, that's going to be on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Grimjack21502. Yeah, you want to be there. You want to be there. That's all I have to say. I'm super excited. Super duper excited about everything happening next year.
Me too. Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. We're now going to hop over to the wonderful Tool School and sweet, sweet, cunning, sneaky Vesh.
He got that low dex score, but his int and his wisdom aren't too bad. And some charisma with that nice little charisma of his. But when I first was sort of thinking of Vesh needing to do, it was like, how would Vesh, being so clumsy, ever be able to sneak away and run away? And so I had to start being very, very clever of different things. Of the fact that since he's almost 8 feet tall, it's like, well, they're going to spot him in any crowd anywhere. Well, Reduced cuts you in half, which is 4 feet tall, and he already is gangly. He's going to look like just any other gangly street kid running around. And then it would start just getting into the details of then enlarging another kid, throwing them in a stall as the diversion, and leaving the scarf large so he could wrap the shield in his old tattered scarf and just look like some ratty urchin kid running through rote. And
so much trouble with Tom right now.
but Yeah, no, what fun. What a amazing fun episode. What amazing fun season. I've had a blast playing Vesh. He's been fun to discover. And, being the kid who doesn't quite, in something bigger and not having necessarily the savvy that the rest of the party does, but also seem to have some weird connection to all of this, especially with that last scene of the giant who locked the door. That's interesting. Also scary because I'm betting that he's the giant that can unlock the door too. Because it's Alice.
Hey, the shield called for you. I'm not like...
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Tall Squall. Favorite part? I think Mother and Kaya. Yeah, that was amazing. Amazing role play for both of you guys, of just the back and forth between, I thought, I'm always amazed at how conversationally you're able to channel the mother when you need to.
It was extra intense because my screen kept freezing. So I was like, did Derek just say something? Like, now I've got to really work out what it said. So.
I couldn't tell, so good on you.
Oh my God.
Well, that was the thing, was because you get so stone-faced when you do it. I don't think anyone realized you were freezing.
A lot of it, I was like, now just hold the face. Okay, we're back now. I'm going to get again, so... I'm Tall Squall. You can find me all over social media as Tall Squall, and you can see me do different things, playing in the Midgard campaign on Tuesday nights and DMing my own campaign. If you check my Twitter, you'll see we had a big, really cool moment this weekend with using Matt Mercer's Fading Soul resurrection ritual on the reforging of a sentient weapon that also happens to be our warlock's patron, as he's a hexblade. And so we got to use that rule set in action, and it was really, really cool. Modified in a little bit because I had the DC a whole lot higher, but I won't spoil it for you. If you want to check it out, you can check my tweets for the whole episode, just the ritual from beginning to end, or literally the role and how it all resolved itself. So check it out, and thanks for tuning in. Awesome, thank you. And last but certainly not least, Ash, or grandpa I met. What are we going with here? Dad I met. Beard, like.
Oh. Uncle.
He's dad forged.
Yeah, dad forged.
So for the season, I think my favorite part was watching Alice's face as we guessed things or figured things out or thought we figured them out, because it was perfect. It was just wonderful. But for this episode, actually, I had a proud moment where I was like, okay, Vesh child just did something bad. What did my dad do? And I did stuff like that just broke me. And being able to channel my dad into a moment was just absolutely perfect.
Nailed it.
That's right. You're ready for me to yell at you? Nope. I'm gonna give you a hug and make you feel miserable.
Yep.
Miserable with love.
Oh, yes, being able to do that was very fun. Yeah, I am Phoenix of89 on Twitter and Twitch. And right now, this is the only stream I'm in, but if anything else comes up, I will let everyone else know. So I will be here back next season.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm so glad it's coming back, because there is so much more of this adventure to be played out and to be told. I'm in love with Eberron, the world, and I'm in love with this story and this group. You've all been amazing. Bits over the season, there's so much, like when I had to quickly improvise with Emet because I didn't realize Emet had to speak with animals. And he asked a mouse in the wall, and I was like, oh damn, now what?
They always get you with that. I had to do that with a dog in the party once, where suddenly it was like they cast speak with animals on the dog, and it's like a puppy. I'm like, I'm not a puppy guy.
Yeah, like when I think Emmett was like, how many went down? And I'm like, the mouse is just like 3, like holding up its fingers. I've loved how much people seem to have become attached to Angry Mum. I did not know I had that character in me, so that was something I learned about myself. Even especially with the interaction with her and Kaya today, just how adorable Vesh is with experiencing new things. You've had especially Tart, just so like he's so grounded while she's running up to try and sort this situation out, but like that kid is in so much trouble when I get there. There's no will I get there, it's I'm gonna get there and drag that kid out, and just rising out of the smoke or like this mist, just flying. And the epic moment of Emmett swinging and saving Kaya as Kaya is blown off the side of the ship, and again Emmett shouting after Vesh, I thought we were going to do this together, which definitely is the thing I think that broke Vesh and stopped it. So other than that, thank you guys so much. This campaign means everything to me. So yeah, we will be back next season, which I'm very, very excited about. I'm White Rabbit Pick. When I'm not doing this, I am taking photos. That's probably all you really need to know. But we are going to raid one of our lovely cast members ourselves, Aressavad, who is doing some stuff over on her channel right now. We adore her. Go and send some support her way. Discord, get in there if you want to talk about things like this game, if you want to talk about the tears, the intensity of everything that's going on. I'm sort of half speechless anyway, but there's a room for every single campaign on there. Or if you just want to talk D&D and TTRPGs, it's full of really awesome people. It's something we're really proud of, that the community's awesome. So head over in there. This will be up on YouTube very soon, and feel free to catch up obviously with the others if you haven't quite caught up yet. Twitter, if you want to get into one of our games, give Scrat a DM on Twitter, because we're all about bringing new or returning people, whether it's new to streaming, whether it's new to D&D, or whatever TTRPG is coming up. Give us a message and we will get you in. We've got 5 new viewer games coming up in season 2, including the Cypher system. And guys, this is our full-time job now, thanks to you wonderful people. And if you want to support us, that we've got Patreon, but we've also got some free articles in there. One written by a lovely Derek that came out this week. We've got Renee next week. Merch is another way you can support us. Sorry, I'm still sort of thinking about the session. On Redbubble, we've currently got our Christmas jumper out. And I also want to say, with the whole like self-support thing and everything, is we beat our goal today. Our stream goal has been beat, and I'm overwhelmed, and thank you so much. I know Scrat is as well. How much you guys put towards this, and how it helps so much, and it means we can keep doing this and creating awesome stories like this. Last thing, we've got some awesome sponsors. Bird in the Storm, our wonderful tour school, is part of this. You can get their mugs and their jumpers and t-shirts and all wonderful things in their link. We also have Mage Hand Press, who do the Dark Matter reskin of D&D 5e, and you can see that in action over at 1 p.m. EST excuse me, on Thursday, where I run the finale of Argo 37. Other than that, we are going to go and raid Aressavad. She is an awesome human being, so get over there and send her loads of love. Let her know where you came from, and post that raid cry in chat, because our raid cries seem to throw everyone off, and I love that. So excuse me, keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you in the Christmas season where we run 41 games in 12 days of Christmas. Love you all. Bye.